I know exactly what you're thinking when you land on a 3D scanner page. Is this thing actually going to work for what I need? Or am I about to waste a couple $100 on something that looks cool in the demo video but falls apart when I try to scan my kid's action figure? If that's you right now, you're not wrong to hesitate. There are plenty of scanners out there that promise high detail and easy workflows, but once you get past the glossy marketing, you realize they're either finicky to set up, require a studio full of lights, or just can't handle anything beyond a simple queue. The Revopoint MIRACO Pro is trying to change that by bundling everything into one box: scanner, screen, and software, so you're not left piecing together a Frankenstein rig just to get a halfway decent scan. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So who actually needs this thing? If you're into 3D printing and you've ever tried to digitize something real like a prop, a small sculpture, or even a detailed plant, you know the frustration of scanning apps that crash, textures that come out muddy, or models that look like they were carved with a potato. The MIRACO Pro is built for people who want to skip the setup headaches and get a clean, color-rich scan without needing a PhD in photogrammetry. It's aimed at hobbyists, makers, and small studios who need reliable results without the lab-grade price tag. Now, let's talk about what actually matters when you unbox it. The first thing you'll notice is the HD 2K display built right into the scanner. That's not just for show, it lets you preview your scan in real time, adjust angles, and catch issues like shadows or missing spots before you commit to a full capture. That alone saves you from wasting hours on a failed scan. The portable design means you can take it to a friend's place, a workshop, or even outdoors if you're scanning something large like a vase or a decorative piece. It's not pocket-sized, but it's compact enough to move around without feeling like you're lugging a mini fridge. The color capture is where this scanner actually stands out. A lot of budget scanners give you a gray blob with decent geometry but zero texture, which means you still have to paint it in afterward. The MIRACO Pro captures full color in one pass, so your scanned model looks like the real thing. That's huge if you're printing cosplay props, architectural models, or anything where appearance matters as much as shape. I've seen people use it to scan entire miniatures for tabletop gaming, and the fine details like tiny engravings or fabric textures come through surprisingly well. But here's the catch: it's not magic. If you're scanning something reflective, like a polished metal figurine or a glossy ceramic vase, you'll still need to apply some spray or powder to kill the shine. The software can handle it, but you're not getting a perfect scan straight out of the box. Also, while the scanner is versatile, it's not built for scanning large objects like full-sized helmets or furniture. You're limited to smaller items, think under 10 inches in any dimension, unless you're willing to do multiple scans and stitch them together, which adds complexity. The flexible capture modes are worth mentioning too. You can do handheld scans for quick captures, turntable mode for small objects, or even use it in a fixed setup if you're scanning something delicate. The software walks you through the process, so even if you're new to 3D scanning, you won't feel like you're deciphering hieroglyphics just to get started. That said, the learning curve isn't zero. You'll still need to experiment with lighting and scan angles to get the best results, especially if you're dealing with complex shapes or dark materials. So who should skip this? If you're a professional who needs ultra-high precision for industrial parts or medical applications, you're probably better off with a higher-end scanner and a dedicated studio setup. This is for the rest of us, the people who want good results without the hassle of a full calibration routine every time we turn it on. It's also not the cheapest option out there, but when you compare it to the cost of buying a separate scanner, a monitor, and a turntable, the all-in-one approach starts to make sense. The value really comes down to how much time you're willing to spend troubleshooting versus how much you just want a working scan. If you're the type who wants to plug something in, hit record, and get a usable model without tweaking settings for an hour, this scanner is a solid pick. If you're okay with a little extra setup and you're scanning mostly reflective or large objects, you might want to look elsewhere. Either way, the MIRACO Pro is a step up from the cheap handheld scanners that promise the world but deliver a mess of.